Hey kiddo, welcome to your second week looking at time, specifically talking about the difference between AM and PM and measuring our time. Sorry about that. So let's go ahead and get started. We are going to be looking at the activity and deciding if this would happen in the AM, meaning morning, or the PM, meaning afternoon. Benny is brushing his teeth before school. That before is a really important part that tells us that this is the AM because it is before school and school happens in the morning. Lindsay got dropped off at home by the bus. Dropping off at home tells us it's going to be PM because her school day is over. Mikey reads a book before bedtime. If he's going to bed, it needs to be night. So this is PM. Anne goes to art class after lunch. Lunch is usually what we use to decide when the afternoon is starting, or we go off 12 noon. So if it's after lunch, we're going to say that this was PM. Dominic is eating cereal for breakfast. Breakfast is our usual first meal of the day. This is AM. Mateo's first class of the day is math. His first class is happening in the AM. Any questions on this page? Please bring them with you to class. All right, labs, looking at our second page where we're looking at the scenario to decide whether it's AM or PM, and we have the added stretch of also writing our time. So if we're looking here, we have our hour hand in yellow, and we have our minute hand in red. Remember that our hour hand is the one that points to, and our minute hand is the one that does not respect space. It usually sits directly on the number. So we're looking at our time first. My hour hand is pointing to the 8. It's just passed. My minute hand is on the 3, so 5, 10, 15 minutes have passed. And the story tells me that Robin is going to bed at this time every night, and bedtime happens at PM or nighttime. All right, looking at our minute hand and our hour hand in yellow, minute hand in red. Checking our time. It is past the 1, but not yet to the 2. Remember, we can extend these if it helps us. We can see it's in front of the 2. So the hour is at 1, and it's 1 what? It goes to the 50. We know the 6 is 30. We can count it from there. 35, 40, 45, 50. 1:50. At this time, Mallory is eating lunch with her friend Katie, so we're going to say it's PM. At 1:50 a.m., we should be sleeping. All right, let's mark up our minute hand and our hour hand. And remember, sometimes we need to think about what happens to the minute hand at the start of an hour and what happens at the end of an hour. We can see here that this is the start of an hour. It is the start of the 9 o'clock hour. We're on the 1, which is 5 minutes. So at 9:05, and it says that Madeline is cheering on the football game Friday evening. This should be PM. Lindsay's last class of the day is science. Let's see what time it happens. We're going to extend this. We're going to make our hour hand and our minute hand stand out. Now, this looks like it's almost to the 4, but not quite. We're in the 3 o'clock hour. With the hour, we look to see what time is it touching or what has it passed. Minute, if we start at the 30, 35, 40 minutes. 3:40, last class of the day, 3:40 p.m. Maria has choir class before lunch every day. So if we're extending our hands and marking them up so we can see the difference. This is going to be in the 11 o'clock hour. It's past 11, not yet to the 12, and the 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. At 11:25 a.m. before lunch, Maria has her choir class. Eliza takes her daughter to daycare. We are at the very end of an hour. Be very careful with that. We know that at the end of an hour, it can be really hard to tell what hour it is and what minutes. But we know that at the end of the hour, our minute hand is very, very close to the 12, and our hour hand is very, very close to the next hour, but not quite there. This is still within the 7 o'clock hour, starting at the 30, or if you remember the quarter hour, the 45, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, right on the nose, 7:55. And if she's taking her in the morning, it's AM. Any questions on this? Bring them with you to class. This time you have to draw the time. So we're doing 8:25, 8, my hour hand, and 25 is my 5. Over here, drawing the time 2:05, my hour hand is pointing to the 2, and my minute hand is on the 5, which is the 1, 2:05. 7:55, my hour hand should be pretty close to the 8, but not there yet. And 55 means my minute hand is on the 11. 3:20, my hour hand is pointing to the 3, and my minute hand is on the 4, because 4 groups of 5 give me 20 minutes. 6:40, my hour hand is between the 6 and the 7, and my minute hand is on the 8. The 6 is 30, 35, 40. 12:30, my hour hand is on the 12. My minute hand is on the 6, 12:30. Any questions on this? Bring them with you to class. All right, we're on page 4 of 5 where I want to know what time is it. So if I'm looking here, extending my line, minutes and hours. My hours still within the 1 o'clock. It's past the 1, not yet to the 2. And my minutes are 40. We count from the 6, 35, 40. This is 1:40. Over here, and actually, I'm going to mark up all of my hour hands first. That would just make it easier. So I'm going to make all of my hour hands, they're yellow, and all of my minute hands, they're red. And that is going to keep me from having to go back and forth. Perfect. All right, back at it. This is between the 5 and the 6, but if I extend it, I can see it's not on the 6 yet, it's still on the 5. It's also towards the end of an hour, so I know that that hour is going to look really close to the next one, but it hasn't started yet. If I remember my quarter hour, this is 45, that makes this 55, 50. Down here, my hour hand is between the 10 and 11, so it is past the 10. And I'm on the 6, which is the half hour, 10:30. Over here, my hour hand is on the 9, and my minute hand is on the 2, 5:10, 9:10. Down here, my hour hand is on the 4. My minute hand is on the 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, or 5 groups of 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Up here, my hour hand, be careful. It looks like it's on the 12, but when I extend it, it's right in front because we only have 5 minutes left in this hour. It is almost noon, but not quite yet, 11:55. Questions on this? Bring them with you to class. All right, last page. This was a stretch. I gave you the clock and I asked you to tell me the new time. The new time. So, what time was 55 minutes ago? If we are at 1:10, and I wanted to know 55 minutes ago, we had some strategies that we learned in class about how to work backwards. So I can start at 1:10 and I can do 10 minutes to get to 1 o'clock. And then I can do another 30 minutes to get to 12:30. That puts me at 40 minutes. I need 15 more minutes, which would get me to 12:15. So 55 minutes ago is 12:15. Over here, it is 3:35. I want to know what's 25 minutes ago. I'd still be in the same hour. I can subtract for this one. And that would leave me at 3:10. I could also count back 25 minutes if I wanted to. I could say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 would take me back to 3:10. 1 hour and 40 minutes from now. So we're going forward. It's currently 11 o'clock. If I go forward 1 hour, let me change the color so you can read it. If I go forward 1 hour, that takes me to 12 o'clock. And if I go forward another 40 minutes, that takes me to 12:40. My time, 12:40. Over, yep, we're on this one. Okay. 9:15, I want to know 2.5 hours ago. So I'm working backwards. 9:15, going back my hours. 1 hour is 8:15. 2 hours is 7:15. and a half hour. If I'm at a 15 and I go back a half the clock, that would take me to 6:45. 6:45. 45 minutes from now, so we're going forward 45 minutes. I am at 7:20. Let's see if we can count 45 and stay in the same hour. We have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. We have to go past one more, 45. This will take us to 8:05 because as soon as we cross that 12, we're at a new hour. Oh, one more. 30 minutes ago. So we're going back 30 minutes or we're going a halfway around the clock towards the front. It's going to take me from 5:45 to 5:15. Now we are done. Any questions on any of these pages? Bring them with you to